Growth isn't what most people think. It's not a smooth journey, and it doesn't happen by magic. In fact, 92% of people who set New Year's resolutions never actually achieve them. Shocking, right? But here's the real kicker. Growth is harder than most are willing to admit. And if you're waiting for a quick fix or an easy path, you're in for a wake-up call. But here's the good news. You can still grow, real growth, but it requires embracing discomfort, facing failure, and learning to let go of old habits. It takes time, patience, and, most importantly, a mindset shift. In this video, we're going to explore the truth about growth. You'll learn why growth isn't linear, how setbacks can be your greatest lessons, and why self-discipline is the key to everything. Stay tuned, because this isn't your usual motivational fluff. This is about the hard truth behind real, lasting change. Ready to take the first step? Let's dive in. Chapter 1. Growth isn't comfortable. Embrace the uncomfortable. Growth isn't about feeling good all the time. In fact, true growth is almost always uncomfortable. As much as we crave comfort, the most significant changes in our lives happen when we push ourselves outside of what feels easy. Think about it. Muscle growth happens when you push your muscles to the point of strain. The same principle applies to personal growth. A study by the University of California found that people who actively seek discomfort tend to have higher levels of resilience and adaptability. This is because facing discomfort builds mental strength. One strategy for embracing discomfort is to take small steps toward what scares you. If you fear public speaking, start by speaking in front of a small group. Each time you take on something that makes you uncomfortable, you're training your mind to grow. But let's be clear, discomfort doesn't mean harm. It's about challenging yourself without breaking down. J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter, once said, "Rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life." The key takeaway? Growth can often begin when things feel the hardest. It's not about avoiding fear but stepping into it. The more you expose yourself to discomfort, the less power it has over you. Take a moment to ask yourself, when was the last time you truly stepped out of your comfort zone? If it's been a while, it's time to change that. Growth is waiting on the other side. Chapter 2. The lie of overnight success. Growth takes time. The idea of overnight success is one of the most damaging myths in personal development. We often see people in the spotlight and think they've achieved success without effort, but the truth is far from that. Behind every success story is years of hard work, setbacks, and moments of doubt. According to a 2021 survey from the National Bureau of Economic Research, over 50% of successful entrepreneurs reported facing at least 5 years of challenges before hitting their big break. Success requires patience. Look at Steve Jobs. His success with Apple didn't happen immediately. It took years of developing his vision, learning from failure, and adapting to change. Even after he was fired from Apple, he didn't give up. Instead, he created another company, Next, which led him back to Apple. His journey wasn't smooth, but it was certainly worth it. The strategy here is simple. Don't rush the process. Be consistent and persistent. Set daily goals, no matter how small. These incremental improvements stack up over time. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. Whether it's learning a new skill, building a career, or improving your relationships, long-term success takes time. It's also important to stay focused on the process, not just the end result. According to The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg, habits, not motivation, are what keep us going. If you focus on building good habits, the results will follow naturally. So, next time you feel discouraged by slow progress, remember, growth isn't a race. It's a marathon. Trust the process and keep moving forward. Chapter 3. Failing forward. Why stumbles are stepping stones. Failure is often seen as the end of the road, but in reality, it's a critical part of growth. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is how they respond to failure. Instead of seeing failure as something negative, consider it a stepping stone toward success. Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb, famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." If you change your perspective on failure, you can turn it into one of your greatest teachers. One powerful strategy to make failure work for you is to embrace the concept of failing forward. This means looking at your mistakes, analyzing them, and using them as feedback to improve. Instead of asking, "Why did I fail?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" By doing so, you transform a negative experience into an opportunity for growth. In fact, research by Harvard Business Review shows that people who view failure as a learning opportunity are 30% more likely to succeed in the long term. It's all about the mindset. When you fail forward, you're not dwelling on the past, you're using it as fuel for your future. Look at Michael Jordan, considered one of the greatest basketball players ever. He was cut from his high school basketball team and faced constant challenges. Yet, he believed that every failure was simply a lesson in disguise. "I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games," Jordan said. "But I keep going, and that's what counts. So, next time you fail, take a step back. Don't let it define you. Use it to grow." The road to success is paved with stumbles, but each one gets you closer to your goal. Chapter 4. The Power of Self-Discipline. The hidden force behind true growth. When we talk about growth, self-discipline is often the unsung hero. It's not the flashy, glamorous part of success, but it's what makes everything else possible. Self-discipline is like the secret ingredient to achieving your goals. In fact, the marshmallow test, a well-known study by psychologist Walter Mischel, showed that children who were able to resist eating a marshmallow immediately were more likely to succeed later in life. The lesson? Delayed gratification is a key indicator of future success. But how can we build this skill? One strategy is to start small. Begin with simple tasks that require a little discipline, like waking up 10 minutes earlier each day or committing to reading a chapter of a book every evening. Once you build consistency in the small things, it becomes easier to tackle bigger challenges. This is known as the snowball effect in personal growth. The 1-minute rule is another powerful tool to boost self-discipline. It's simple. If a task takes 1 minute or less to complete, do it immediately. This can be anything from answering an email to making your bed. These small actions build momentum and gradually develop the discipline needed for larger projects. Self-discipline also means saying no. Warren Buffett once said, "The difference between successful people and very successful people is that very successful people say no to almost everything." By learning to focus only on what matters most, you conserve your energy and avoid distractions that can derail your growth. So, how do you stay disciplined? Set clear goals, break them down into small, manageable steps, and stay consistent. When you practice self-discipline, you're not just managing tasks, you're training your mind to stay focused on the bigger picture. Chapter 5. Growth isn't linear. How to ride the waves of setbacks. Growth is rarely a straight line. It's full of ups and downs, successes and setbacks. In fact, it's during these setbacks that we often learn the most. A study from the University of Pennsylvania showed that people who experienced setbacks and persevered were 60% more likely to achieve long-term success than those who never faced challenges. One strategy for handling setbacks is to reframe them. Instead of seeing failure as something negative, think of it as a learning opportunity. The faster you get back up, the quicker you can learn and adjust. This is what we call failing forward, a concept introduced by author John C. Maxwell. Every setback, when approached with the right mindset, can become a stepping stone to your next breakthrough. The key is to understand that setbacks are not permanent. They are temporary interruptions on the path to success. Take Thomas Edison again. He failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. But instead of viewing each failure as a roadblock, he viewed it as part of the process. To help cope with setbacks, it's important to maintain a growth mindset. Carol Dweck, a psychologist at Stanford University, has extensively researched this concept. She found that people with a growth mindset, those who believe abilities can improve with effort, are far more likely to bounce back from setbacks and keep growing. If you're feeling stuck after a setback, take a step back. Reevaluate your approach, find new solutions, and keep moving forward. Growth is not about avoiding failure, it's about how you respond when it happens. Chapter 6. Growth requires letting go. Why you need to release the old you. The hardest part of growth is often letting go. Letting go of old habits, mindsets, or even parts of your identity that no longer serve you is crucial for personal development. A 2020 study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that people who let go of limiting beliefs or negative past experiences were 40% more likely to achieve significant personal growth. One powerful strategy for letting go is to identify the limiting beliefs that are holding you back. These beliefs are often deeply rooted and can be hard to spot, but they shape the way you approach challenges. Ask yourself, what beliefs about myself are keeping me from moving forward? This simple reflection can help you start breaking free from old patterns. Another strategy is to practice mindfulness. Mindfulness allows you to observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment. By becoming aware of your internal dialogue, you can identify negative thought patterns that keep you stuck. As Eckhart Tolle, author of The Power of Now, says, the primary cause of unhappiness is never the situation, but your thoughts about it. Letting go also means releasing people or environments that hinder your growth. This can be difficult, but it's often necessary. You don't have to burn bridges, but it's important to distance yourself from negativity. Surround yourself with people who inspire you and support your vision for the future. Finally, remember that personal growth requires reinvention. As Oprah Winfrey once said, the greatest discovery of all time is that a person can change his future by merely changing his attitude. Letting go isn't just about losing something, it's about making space for something new and better. Subscribe and keep growing. If you found these insights helpful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Stay tuned for more content that'll help you grow and become the best version of yourself. Remember, growth is a journey, not a destination. Keep pushing forward.